Hi guys, I'm Nisha. So today I'm going to we're going to teach you apples. Remember, Kathy Hogan. I'll share by Joel Snyder. First question: what lesson does Moore learn in this story? He learns that he he should think what the effect would be when he does something horrid just to get back on someone. That's an important lesson, isn't it? Moore is a very mischievous mouse who also does very mischievous things. Moore was scared when he to school with Ben for his best buddies. Rapids bouncing, they chased around trying to jump over on each other's swinging tails. They slowly made progress toward the playground. Hey, Moore saw Shorty was standing in Apple's apple orchard. Apple harvest is almost over, and the smell of apples started to fresh dew on the grass had fallen. And fallen apples gave Moore a very mischievous idea. Remember when Mr. Apple yelled at us for picking his apples? I never remembered. Whoops. Benford remembered that day well, and that Mr. Albert's whiskers twitched with anger as he screamed at them. He said, "Yes, I've eaten that fall to the ground, but picking my apples is stealing," Moore continued. "I know just what to do with those rotten apples. My applesauce for Miss Snickerwiser." Soon Ben, Fred, and Morty were scrambling around the orchard, picking up overwritten worm-eaten apples, lots and lots of apples. They filled the backpacks until they were nearly too heavy to carry. "Come on, let's hurry," Morty called over his shoulder as he led the way to the teacher parking lot. Just as he knew she would, Miss Snickerwiser had let the door unlocked on a slick, red two-seated mouse meeting. Secretly, the three third-grade mice, Morty, Ben, and Fred, fell into the car with apples. Later until he lost more apples, Ben said as he pulled the last mushy apple from his backpack. "Right, wait, let's get moving before the bell rings. We gotta hurry," Fred exclaimed. "I already have a target for this week." When they arrived to the orchard, they loaded their backpacks again. At the car, they closed the mouse meeting's door and cracked the window, shoving apples through the opening. By the time they settled into the desks, the car was so frightened, decaying apples. The sun was getting high in the sky, warming up the car and cooking the apples. Miss Snickerwiser knows so much stuff that she may just be the smartest mouse in the world. Morty once told his mother, "You love Miss Snickerwiser's big smile and how she laughed easily at his silly tricks. Sometimes she gave cheesy chips for correct answers, and she always explained things well. But Miss Snickerwiser had been crying lately. Last week she got angry when one didn't finish his assignments on time. There was a nice to her voice when she called Morty to pay attention. And she even called his mother when Morty smashed cats up back inside the playground. When Ray says, Moore was thinking about the trick that he, Fred, and Ben had pulled with the apples when he saw the janitor wash the garbage cans behind the school with long hose. When the janitor was finished, Moore grabbed his and scampered to the teacher parking lot to stick down running hose in the window of the meeting. Adding water to warm apples made the smell even strong. I'm sure home Miss Snickerwiser likes applesauce as much as Lice did, but I thought as he tried to spread it, the air gathering small flies of water. Back in class, one noticed that Miss Snickerwiser looked sad and tired. There was no chest color after school today, she announced. I need to leave. Right away to stay with my mother, who's in the hospital. Also, I'm a little behind correcting science projects. My mother has been very sick. Moore noticed that tears pooled in her eyes. Moore felt sick in his stomach. Not the kind of thing you get from munching on a few overripe apples on the way to school. The kind of thing you get when you really regret something you've done. He looked over at Ben and Fred. Ben was as white as a ghost mouse, and Ben was staring at the floor. Whoops. Luckily, Miss Snickerwiser dismissed class for a free exercise period before school ended for the day. In 45 minutes, Moore had to act fast. As they outside, let's go to the janitor's closet to get soap, a bucket, and a sponge. The hose is still where Moore had left it. Rick got the nozzle and raced with teacher's mouse meeting. There's no time to waste. Opening the door, sticky applesauce spilled out into the parking lot. Gobs and gobs of applesauce and flies, seeds, apple skins, and even a few worms. What a mess. Moore turned on the hose and started squirting. He rolled down all the windows, just hoping the sun was still warm enough to dry out the inside of the car. Moore squirted like his hero, Mega Mouse, 1,000 times faster and stronger than a normal mouse. He even washed the outside of the car. As this got around cleaning, Moore's mind raced. How would he explain to Miss Snickerwiser that he had filled her car with rotten apples? How would he tell her that he had been angry at her for being tough on him? Now that he thought about it, she wasn't any harder on him than any other mouse in the class. It was more to know that Miss Snickerwiser's mom was sick. Deep inside, Morty knew his prey was just as rotten as the apples. Miss Wise did not deserve it, even if she really had been tough on him. There was sweat trickling down Morty's rug when the school bell rang. Morty gathered up the hose and cleaning supplies and started to the janitor's closet. Miss Nicolazo was approaching her car. Morty smiled when she said, "Morty, my car is so clean and nice. Did you leave the playground to wash my car?" This was more big chance. He could simply answer yes, came out smelling like a rose, as his mother would say. But Morty smelled with overly ripe apples, and he always tells the truth. Before Morty could answer, Miss Nicolai opened the door and looked inside. "Just sparkles," she said, "and it smells like you used a fresh apple air freshener. I love that smell." Morty was sitting at an apple seed stuck to his arm when he spoke up. "Miss Nicolai, before I wash the car, I played a pretty mean trick on you." Miss Nicolai was looking at Morty now, raising one eyebrow in a puzzled expression and prodded Morty to continue. "I figured covered old apples from Mr. Apple's orchard, and what is so could dump a nasty batch of applesauce in your ice cream." Morty looked in her eyes. "I'm really sorry." Miss Nicolai's face showed no emotion. She looked in the car again and ran her paw over the dashboard. It wasn't near sticky. Miss Nicolai smiled at Morty and patted his head. "I love my clean car," she said. "I accept your apology. Next time you decide to leave the playground, you really need to tell me." But she asked, "Morty, will you do me one little favor? When you get home, will you tell your mother thank you?" Now Morty's face looked puzzled. Miss Nicolai smiled one of her big twinkling smiles and explained, "The mama has done a fine job teaching you to wash the dishes after you cook." Morty laughed as Miss Nicolai drove off in her immaculate mouse mini. They would return to clean supplies and find better friend to walk home. He had to hold his nose when they passed Apple's apple orchard. He realized that he did not like the smell of warm, rotten apple. In fact, Morty thought that he wouldn't mind if he never smelled apples again. Thanks for listening. Goodbye.